Good morning. I'll make sure it's on here. My name is Tim Mehus. I'm the Director of Basic Law Enforcement Training here at Nash Community College. At this time, I ask you please rise and welcome the graduates of the Basic Law Enforcement Training Program. And if you would, please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I'd like to introduce Chaplain Howard Kendrick for the invocation.
Good morning, everybody. Now, it's not time to jump and shout and cheer yet because the graduation on it, but you can look at somebody and smile at them. You know, let them see you smile, your eyes smile or something, right? Now do that. Look at somebody next to you. Good gracious, get this thing rolling right. It's a cheery day, a happy day, and I know a lot of your graduates have already working, but just to see what they're going through today is exciting. Let's go to the Lord. Father, we just thank you for your immense love and mercy toward us and for us and in us and through us, for all these graduates that come and the family members and the friends that are here to back them up. We just give you praise and honor for what you are doing in our lives, doing it in our community, and we just thank you. Take over everything that's going on that you might get the glory out of it, and we praise you for that in Jesus' name. Amen. You can be seated.
Well, good morning. Come on. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hope everybody's doing well today. My name is Lou Hunnicutt, and I have the privilege and honor of being the president of this incredible institution. And this is such a great day for me because we haven't got to do this since I've been president. I came in November of 2019, and we all know what happened shortly after that, and we started having to do things like this. If you think there's anyone out there that hates these more than me, you're wrong. I don't like them any better than anybody else, but we did what we had to do, but as a result, we didn't get to celebrate like we would like to. So this is a great special day to me. I appreciate and am awed by anyone that goes into law enforcement at any level, or armed forces or any of the service organizations. So it's doubly important for me to get to be here today. But so on behalf of the Board of Regents, faculty, staff, and students of Nash Community College, welcome to campus today, and we're just happy we get to celebrate with you. Thank you.
As I said, I have the pleasure of introducing the guest speaker, Chief Robert Hassell from the Rocky Mountain Police Department. He is an accomplished law enforcement executive with more than 25 years of leadership experience. He began his career in 1995 with the Kinston Police Department, where he served 10 years. He left Kinston to serve as Public Safety Director in Fairmount. He later became Chief of Police for Hope Mills and then served as Associate Vice Chancellor of Police and Public Safety at Fayetteville State University. Prior to becoming Chief of Police at Reedsville Police Department, where he served for 7 years until recently being appointed as Chief of Police for the Rocky Mountain Police Department. Chief Hassell has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice administration from the University of Mount Olive, a master's degree in public administration from Central Michigan University, and a doctorate of management in organizational leadership from the University of Phoenix. During Chief Hassell's distinguished journey within law enforcement, he has been the recipient of several departmental and civic awards and recognitions, which includes Medal of Valor that he received on 2 different occasions, the Life Saving Award, which he received on 2 different occasions, the Outstanding Service Awards, City of Reedsville Citizen of the Year, the Man of Distinction Award, and the other community service awards from numerous organizations. Chief Hassell has served as president of the North Carolina Association of Chiefs of Police during 2016 and is currently a member of the International Association of Chiefs of Police. Chief Hassell continues to serve in other leadership roles statewide and is currently vice chair of the Planning Committee for the North Carolina Criminal Justice Education and Training Standards Commission. During his leisure, Chief Hassell serves as a volunteer for youth mentoring programs. I'd like to introduce to you Chief Robert Hassell, Rocky Mountain Police Department.
Thank you so much, Director Mehus, for that outstanding introduction. And I'd also like to thank you for the invitation to be the guest speaker today. But I'd also like to thank Dr. Hunnicutt and Director Mehus for their leadership and what they are doing to support the Basic Law Enforcement Training Academy here at Nash Community College. I want to say to both of you, the support and your leadership and all of the sweat and hard work you're putting into this academy is producing quality officers in our region, our next group of supervisors and leaders that will carry the things they've learned here and in the field beyond the state of North Carolina. So thank you for your leadership. To the Police Academy instructors and all of the BLET staff who helped this class get through, I thank you for your dedication to the program, sharing of your experience, and many instructional hours in the classroom, because those instructional hours and all the practical exercises has prepared our graduates to begin a career of service, and that service is in law enforcement. Now to our special guests, the family, spouses, significant others, and friends. I thank you for your support that you have given each one of these graduates, many of them already serving in their respective jurisdictions. I will let you know now, if you don't already know, which I'm sure you do, they will need your support throughout their career. As law enforcement officers, we see a lot, we have to go through a lot, and that support that you have given them in the academy would be needed throughout their entire career. Your support is essential. I can't say that enough. It's essential to carry them through. To our honored guests, our graduates, I am honored to have the opportunity to congratulate you and to offer a few words. I ain't gonna say wisdom, but just offer you a few words. I'm thankful that the community college elected to go back multiple classes. My last terminal degree, it took me several years to get it. A lot of work in between classes. And finally, once defending my dissertation, I was able to walk that stage, to say that I've accomplished this in my life. And then what happened? COVID hit. And graduations were canceled. And then the next graduation I had my name submitted for, it got canceled. So now years later, I still haven't been able to walk across that stage. And I think about it sometimes. So I am very thankful that the college have decided to go back multiple classes so that we can recognize you for your accomplishment and that your family can share in that with you. What a proud day for each of you, as you have earned the right to be proud of this accomplishment. Through your determination, willpower, and a lot of hard work and long hours, it has got you to this day. Today you graduate and ready to accept the challenges in modern day policing in America. As you look amongst yourselves, and as I look amongst you, I see myself 25 years ago, over 25 years ago, as I'm reminded of my life experiences, I am reminded of my graduation day, and I am reminded of what inspired me to become a law enforcement officer. For you know, which many of you don't know, some of my staff may know, my command level staff, I was raised in a very violent home. Once my mother got the courage to get out of that situation, along with my 3 brothers and I was raised in low-income housing for much of my younger years up to my teenage years. And of course, living in low-income housing, many of the residents didn't see law enforcement in a very positive way. And unfortunately, that is still today. But one day, this officer was out walking in Riverdale Apartments in Williamston, just down the road, North Carolina, and was trying to get young men to join a Police Explorer program through the Boy Scouts of America. I was hesitant, but I had an interest, because many times in housing you will see the blue lights, the red lights, you see the police, you see the firemen coming to do their duty. I was always curious on what was going on and always wanted to do something, try to get involved, but of course I couldn't. So my interest and a little courage, because I knew people would probably pick at me, but I said yes. Before that, before joining the Explorers, I had thought about a bunch of things, what I wanted to do in life. From a doctor, a lawyer, an inventor. I had a lot of ideas of what where I wanted to see myself when I grow up. But joining the Explorer program planted that seed that I knew, and working with the officers of Williamston Police Department and some of the Martin County Sheriff's Office, I knew without a shadow of a doubt, when I grow up, I wanted to be a police officer. But it took that first officer encouraging, inspiring me to join the Police Explorers. It took the officers of the Williamston Police Department and the Martin County Sheriff's Office working with all the Explorers to keep them encouraged, to help them learn about the profession, which made sure in my mind that when I grow up, I was going to be a police officer. But life happened. It happens to all of us. My high school sweetheart and I ended up getting married at an early age, right after high school. First my son was born, then my daughter was born, and of course, as a young man, you have to support your family. So I went to the community college to try to work on my 2-year degree, and at the same time working at a place called Purdue. And I don't know if anyone knows what Purdue Farms does, but they produce thousands and thousands of chickens, and that's be served on your dinner tables if you like that brand. So I worked at a chicken plant. Then after the chicken plant, I went to Weyerhaeuser, where there's a lumber mill and a paper mill. So I helped make lumber. Same lumber that you build your houses with. But I'm not in my chosen profession. But one day, a deputy with the Martin County Sheriff's Office, Officer Pierce, he approached me, "Robert, why aren't you in law enforcement? What's happened?" I said, "Well, look, I'm married, I got 2 kids, I can't quit my job to go, but I want to." Again, an individual in my life did what he could to get me a job at Winn-Dixie, stocking shelves, and I had a job over at Pizza Hut, then Little Caesars, delivering pizzas, and they helped get me into the police academy. So I say that story to let you know you should remember what inspired you to get into this profession. Because sometimes we need to be reminded of why we're doing this. For me, it's a life of service, doing what I can to help others, do what I can to make a difference. That's what inspires me. That has what kept me going for 25 plus years. And not one day have I regretted being in this profession. I tell you about my journey because, as I said, I do not want you to forget why you chose it. Don't forget what inspires you. Why did you choose to go in a life of service? And I want you to remember it because it will carry you through. You all pursued the profession for a reason. Perhaps you wanted to be a police officer since childhood, had a family member who wore a uniform, sought excitement and adventure, or looked at it as a place to serve. Regardless of your intentions, it can be a great and rewarding career. Policing does have its excitement and its adventure, but for many of us, it's not what we are looking for. Policing is a career that provides an opportunity to make a difference in the life of others and in your community. Success starts with a simple formula. Show up for work as scheduled and as needed. Look the part in your uniform. Be professional as you're looking today. Make sure that you do your assignments with the utmost level of professionalism. Treat others as you would like to be treated, which many of you may know from my great granny, the golden rule. And in your spare time, trust me, you will have some spare time. Be proactive and do a few good things. Get out of the patrol car and talk to young kids. Go see the elderly. Stop by a business or two and see if they're having any problems or have concerns. Remember that enforcing the law and making arrests is really a small part of what you will be doing throughout your career. It can be at times the most exciting, but it won't be how you spend the majority of your time. You have an awesome job, and for many of us in law enforcement, a very honorable career. This starts, your career and how you present yourself starts with treating people with the respect and always offering that high-level police service. And never forget to be compassionate to others. This will carry you through very far in your profession and throughout life. How you treat and interact with people is essential, not only now, but throughout your profession. This leads me to a quote by Maya Angelou. I've learned that people will forget what you said, but people will they will forget what you have did, but will never forget how you made them feel. In law enforcement, we come across a lot of individuals, sometimes at their worst moments. And they may not remember your name. They might not remember specific actions, but most of them will remember how you made them feel in those moments. So remember that quote as you do your duty going forward. Get to know your community. You'll be surprised to find out how many interesting people there are. Also, you'll find that many of these people have problems. Their issues will become your issues. And on many occasions, you are going to be the only person who can help them. Irregardless, as some may feel or believe, always be compassionate and caring, lend an ear, and take the time to listen to those in need. I tell you now, it's okay to show your human side. You're not Superman, you're not a robot, you're human just like everyone else. Now, don't forget, or don't take this as a mistake that being nice to people, being compassionate to people is being soft on crime. Because you can still do these things without letting your guard down. You will still, or you can have and be the guardian of our community while practicing solid safety tactics that you have learned throughout the academy, as you learn through your field training program. But you still can be compassionate and kind to others. Always be aware of your surroundings and have the winning mindset that you will go home after your tour of duty. And always remember to look out for each other. I'm going to stress being compassionate to others and taking the time to get out of those cars and interact with people. Because I've been in this for over 25 years, but I reflect back to probably, 21, 22 years ago, very early in my career. I was working in Kinston, and I was coming out of our mobile office. I was with the police community action team. And upon me walking out that back door of that building, doing my normal duty, walking the community, one of the housing communities, Mitchell Wooten, for those who may know Kinston. And a little boy was out back playing, saw me, walked up to me, "Why are you here?" I told him, "I'm here." This was my common phrase. "I'm here to keep you safe, to make sure that everyone here can live happy." Immediately, that little boy looked up at me and said, "Don't come to my house," meaning his apartment. And I said, "Why?" "Because you're gonna arrest my mommy." Immediately, that little boy looked like me. He's black, I'm black, so we similar, but he didn't see the color of my skin. He saw that badge, he saw that uniform, and immediately he thought if I came to his apartment, I was gonna lock his mother up. That is how a small boy of maybe 7 years of age saw me. And I often wondered as a young officer, why did he see me that way? I have never done anything wrong with him. I've done nothing but try to help the community keep it safe. But from his eyes, as a young kid, all he saw, probably majority of the time, was an officer like me in this uniform, not the color of my skin, but the uniform, chasing individuals through his complex, arresting people that he may know, maybe a father, maybe a brother, maybe an uncle, or just, to be honest, the local drug dealer on the corner who's nice and takes time with them, who gives them candy. So all he knew of me and us is that we're the bad guys because we're locking up people that care for him. He didn't understand that. So it's incumbent upon all of us who wear the uniform to get out of those cars and interact with the public in a positive way. Because like that 7-year-old, if all they see you is in enforcement mode, that is all they're gonna take from that. Uncaring, inhuman type individuals. So I stress, get out of the cars, know your community. If you follow these steps, take this advice, you'll have a great future in what many of us consider the greatest career ever. I know I feel that way for the 25 years I've been wearing the uniform. This is in many ways a people business. You have made the choice to help others regardless of who they are, where they are from, how old they are, their sex or orientation, irregardless of their religious beliefs. I have read that to be successful in policing, you need to have a clear mind, a kind heart, and a fit body. I encourage you to go to work with those ideas in mind. You not only will have the success, but you will feel great about who you are and what you are doing. Lastly, I will leave you with some recited words from an oath that was developed and published by the International Association of Chiefs of Police and adopted by many agencies across the country. And that oath is titled the Oath of Honor. Because I believe this oath captures the essence of that other code, the code of ethics, which you hear about mostly, but I think it captures the essence of the code of ethics and what we all in this profession and those coming in should hold themselves to. And the oath goes as, on my honor, I will never betray my integrity, my character, or the public trust. I will treat all individuals with dignity and respect and ensure that my actions are dedicated to ensuring the safety of my community and the preservation of human life. I will always have the courage to not only hold myself, but others accountable for their actions. I will always maintain the highest ethical standards and uphold the values of my community and the agency I serve. In conclusion, you all answer the call of service to enter this noble profession. You now have the opportunity to serve your respective communities and jurisdictions, and I, along with all the BLET staff and instructors, are very proud of you. I wish you the best in your future endeavors, congratulate you, and of course the family, and I would like to say may God not only protect you, but may you find peace and happiness during your travels in your respective neighborhoods and communities, even with all of the negativity out there that seems to capture the headlines that is not indicative of our profession. I assure you that you will have an awesome and honorable career ahead of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chief. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Officer Brad Leasure, originally sponsored by the Nash County Sheriff's Office, now employed in North Carolina State Ports Authority Police Department. Today, we are here to recognize and congratulate the months of hard work and sacrifice all the graduating law enforcement officers went through to be here. Now, I know some of us thought this day would never come to the COVID-19 pandemic, so you are saving every moment of this ceremony because you have earned it. I also know there are some of you that are probably thinking, look, just let me get my piece of paper, round of applause so I can get home. I understand that. So in either case, I won't be up here long, but I did want to talk about a few things in reference to the graduating classes here today. First, some thanks and appreciation is in order for those who made this possible. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about my Night Academy specifically, and then the rest of the attending graduating classes and law enforcement in general. First, I would like to give thanks to everyone that has made this possible. A special thank you to Dr. Lou Hunnicutt and the Nash Community College Administration for allowing us to have this ceremony for our graduating law enforcement officers and family to celebrate our achievements. First, I'd like to thank retired Captain Mike Whitley, Rocky Mount Police Department. You push all of us day and night in our PT sessions and other classes to adequately prepare us for anything this world can put on us. Also, your advice on leadership and conflict resolution has benefited me greatly, so I wanted to personally thank you for that. Thank you, retired Captain Donald Mosley, Rocky Mount Police Department, for accepting nothing less than our best. You have taught us to never become complacent and never slack on paying attention to details, which is advice I'm sure saved many lives thanks to you. Thank you to retired Lieutenant Neil Boone, Rocky Mount Police Department, for teaching us the practical skills necessary for being a police officer. Those are, of course, shooting straight and driving fast. You taught everyone from those who have never held a handgun before or had to drive evasively to the most experienced, and made all of us proficient enough to handle ourselves on a job. Thank you to Sergeant Josh Trull, Nash County Sheriff's Officer, being probably the coolest PT instructor we had, and also never giving up on our Night Academy. You were there every night, without fail, to push us to succeed, and you are the reason every cadet in my academy passed the POPAT. I'd also like to thank retired Rocky Mount Police Department and current Director of BLET, Tim Mehus. Your BLET Academy is second to none, and I cannot imagine the amount of lives you have impacted by giving past, current, and future cadets the opportunity to make a difference in our communities. You've definitely changed the course of my life and the course of all the graduating officers, and I do not think we could ever thank you enough. Thank you to all the other instructors from Nash County Sheriff's Office, Rocky Mount Police Department, Nashville Police Department, and the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, and all other agencies that have served our class in instruction. The lessons you have taught all of us will be carried through our law enforcement career and the rest of our lives. And last but certainly not least, thank you to all the family and friends that supported us during the journey of becoming a law enforcement officer. We know it was not easy to hear that we wanted to go into our profession. We know it's not easy to watch us leave almost every day for 6 to 8 months, sometimes not returning home until 11 o'clock at night. We know it was not easy for you to let us study and complete training objectives for hours on end while you took care of everything else. But we want you to know that it was all worth it. All the time away, all the tears and sweat, all the running of push-ups, all the tests and all the stress has been worth every bit of it. And without all of you, we could not have done anything we have accomplished. We thank everyone for being so patient, holding down the fort, and loving us all the same while we learn how to protect and serve all of you better. Now, my Night Academy specifically, The story of the 67th Night Academy started on the night of January 11, 2021. From ages 19 to 34, single men to married with children, work experience ranging from everywhere to blue-collar manual labor, DOT state job, second lieutenant in the United States Army Reserves, family business, to a truck driver making nearly 6 figures. We were as different from each other as we could be. Yet we all had the same calling of law enforcement. Whether we started the academy because of positive interaction with another police officer, to do the most possible good in the world, to defend and protect the most vulnerable, the team atmosphere and brotherhood or sisterhood it provides, or to just help people, we all wanted to be law enforcement. Our group quickly all bonded between Shoemate's knife hand, Lawrence's stories from his day at North Carolina Wesleyan College, Jones's deadpan humor, the man could tell a joke with the straightest face and never bet an eye, Halter's calm and collected personality and my dead serious demeanor and unwillingness to let my fellow cadets down as their class leader, we all treat each other as brothers. And like all academies, I'm sure we had good times and bad. We were all stressed of working full-time jobs while attending the academy. Some was working 12 to 16 hours a day before coming to class and having to do it all over again the very next. We worked together to make sure everyone knew that code of ethics. We beat each other up during SCAT training. We got drilled by instructors for accidentally forgetting to secure our phones in our lockers. We went through the gas chamber in crowd management. We pushed each other to our limits during PT, sometimes too far, but we made up with it with our nightly sheets run. Afterwards, we roasted each other into oblivion on our breaks during driving training when Shoemate took out the county line. Oh God. We all tried to shoot out or outshoot each other during the firearms training. We all made that early morning drive on July 23rd to Johnson Community College to see if we had what it takes to pass the state exam. We celebrated afterwards by going out to lunch together like we almost always did on Saturdays because we were confident we had succeeded. We cried, laughed, sweated, studied, struggled, and laughed together some more. We supported each other since the first night, and I am proud to successfully complete this academy with all of you men. Now to the rest of the attending graduates and the law enforcement in general, I believe it needs to be said that the graduating classes we have here today are some of the greatest and most dedicated law enforcement officers that have ever graduated from Nash Community College. The obstacles that these officers had to face to make it through the academy now are unthinkable. From the COVID-19 pandemic to all the social, cultural controversies surrounding law enforcement, I'd say we've had it rough the last couple of years. It is no secret that current law enforcement officers are leaving the profession at an alarming rate. Officers are understaffed, underpaid, and unappreciated, and we are now needed more than ever. As BLET cadets, we sacrificed 6 to 8 months out of our lives for a chance to fill that need, and if we weren't employed by an agency outright, we had to pay for that opportunity as well. I know none of these graduating classes had an easy time completing the academy. We all had our individual and shared struggles throughout the process, and yet here we are. Guys and girls, we've made it. We've accomplished the objective, we've reached our goal, and we made our dreams into reality. It does not matter if we want to be a police officer since we were kids, or if you just found your calling. We are now all certified law enforcement officers. We are the few who will wear the badge and uniform to protect our communities. We are the proud that will never accept anything less than being professional to the public we have sworn to serve. We are the brave who are taught to run towards danger, not away. We are the honorable who will uphold that oath and code of ethics that makes this profession so great. We will constantly strive to achieve these objectives and ideals, dedicating ourselves before God to our chosen profession. We are law enforcement. Thank you.
Well, how do I follow that? Just a few words before we get started in the presentation of our certificates and everything. The men and women you see here before you today, and this is about half of them. We had a total of 45 cadets that have been through the BLET program here at Nash that have successfully completed it. Just to kind of give you a rough idea, the academy is about 700 and some plus hours, give or take a few, depending if it's night academy, day academy. During that time, there are 36 topics that had to be covered. Each of these officers now got tested on each one of those blocks, and they have to make a minimum score. If they don't, they have to retest. If they don't pass the retest, they are no longer in the academy. So y'all have had done a great achievement to get to where you are today. As I said, we had 45 cadets that made it through the BLET program. Several of them could not be here, okay, for training purposes. Some of them have moved out of state and are law enforcement in other states. And I'll be frankly honest with you, a couple of them are no longer law enforcement officers. One of the things I tell cadets when they come through the academy, sometimes you feel like, hey, I know this is what I want to do. This is my lifelong dream. And then when you start doing something, and then you start realizing, maybe this isn't for me. Well, the BLET Academy is there to train the most professional cadets as we can. But at some point inside, you might reach that point to say, you know, am I here for the right reasons? Am I doing it for the right reasons? That first day of the academy, everybody gets to stand up, talk about who they are and why they're here, what motivates them. And a lot of them are the same answers, you know, want to help people. That's one of the things I always try to tell them, as Chief Hassell had mentioned. We're here to help you, okay? And arrest is a small part of our job. You know, to some people, they think that's all we do is arrest people. That's not. That's probably a small fraction of what we actually do. Community policing, getting out there, getting involved with the community, helping people. Probably 90-some% of the group here that you see today, their answer was they wanted to help somebody. They wanted to better something for somebody else, okay? It wasn't nothing about themselves. Officer Leasure mentioned we've had cadets that were making close to 6 figures. Why would you want to get into law enforcement? Because it's a calling, all right? Those that are worn in uniform, not only in the military, but also in law enforcement or any of the civic services like that, it's a calling. It's something that you know this is what you want to do. Money's not an object. It's nice to have, but that ultimate goal of helping people and getting out there and bettering our community, making this world a better place is why we got into law enforcement. As I said, the Academy's 36 topics, 700 some hours. Some of these people were getting up at 5 o'clock, earlier than 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, coming into the campus doing PT. We have a rigorous schedule. We go through it. We've had to adapt, overcome on some things, and then along comes COVID. We had to adapt. We had to change. We shut down for a week. Then we turn right around, we come back, and we hit the ground running. And that's one thing I always tell all my cadets. Doesn't matter what happens to you out there, you don't give up. You never give up. Don't quit the fight. So in saying that, congratulations. I want to congratulate y'all. I know we've already talked about this. We've congratulated. And some of y'all, when I called you up for that, told you what you did on your state exam, looter, had jumped up and down joy. I could hear him running down the street in Rocky Mountain, okay? Because he was that overjoyed, and he did an excellent job, just like everybody else sitting here. Y'all did excellent. I couldn't have been happier. It does me proud to sit here and see y'all in uniform and hitting the streets. I know from the time that I served on the streets that I can sit back and relax because I know y'all have it covered. So in saying that, right now at this time, I have the honor of introducing for a presentation their certificates, the graduates of basic law enforcement graduating classes of Nash Community College. Go ahead and line up. I'm going to call these one at a time. Y'all have to bear with me. From the 60th Day Academy, Marcella Marjorie Abbott, Zebulon Police Department. I'm gonna call out all the graduates' names because I think they need to be recognized. Several of them, like I said, are no longer with us here. They may be in another state or moved on to another agency or in training. Taylor Anthony Black, Camden County Sheriff's Office, Missouri. Yusuf Brown, Rocky Mountain Police Department. Jordan Todd Evans, Nash County Sheriff's Office. Alfredo Rodrigo Hernandez, Rocky Mountain Police Department. Naisha Raquel Hinton, Rocky Mountain Police Department. Andrew Tyler Rigsby, Franklin County Sheriff's Office. Brandon Lee Watson, Rocky Mountain Police Department. That was the 63rd Day Academy. Now I'm recognized the 64th Rocky Mountain Police Department Day Academy. Noah Alexander Allen, Rocky Mountain Police Department. Cameron James Beal, Hickory Police Department. Hunter Cordell Brown, Rocky Mountain Police Department. James O'Neill Bryant, South Carolina State Patrol. Matthew Ryan Galliard, Nash County Sheriff's Office. Nevada Johnson, Rocky Mountain Police Department. Nashua Chase McKinney, Rocky Mountain Police Department. Sarah Elizabeth Ramsey Smith, Kinley Police Department. Now I'll be recognizing the 65th Day Academy. Ashton Luke Anderson, Clayton Police Department. Donovan Donnell Belty, Rocky Mountain Police Department. Mark Allen Bieber, Rocky Mountain Police Department. Nicholas Anthony Broski, Knightdale Police Department. Devin Dwayne Denton, Nash County Sheriff's Office. Samuel Greg Holmes Jr., Nash County Sheriff's Office. Rosa Maria Johnson, Nashville Police Department. Richard Lee Lafayette, Nash County Sheriff's Office. Juan Xavier Porche, Salisbury Police Department. Xavier Jarquette Ruffin, Edgecombe County Sheriff's Office. Ahmad Derer Salim, how to get it right, Zebulon Police Department. Ashley Ray Devin York, Franklin County Sheriff's Office. Now I'd like to recognize the 66th Day Academy. Benjamin Michael Blunt, Nash County Sheriff's Office. Edward Davis Shea Gonzalez, Rocky Mountain Police Department. Kyle Danielle Curtis, Nash County Sheriff's Office. Ryan Emil Flippin, Creedmoor Police Department. Cameron Patrick Flora, Nash County Sheriff's Office. And Mario Alberto Rodriguez, Nash County Sheriff's Office. Now I'd like to recognize the 67th Night Academy. Ahmed Gamal Alex Hodder, Wilson County Sheriff's Office. Dewan Christian Jones, NC Central Campus Police. Jamal Lawrence, Nash County Sheriff's Office. Bradley Allen Leasure, NC State Ports Authority. Corey Matthew Shoemate, Goldsboro Police Department. '68 Rocky Mountain Police Day Academy. Cody Mark Bullock, Rocky Mountain Police Department. Maxwell Alexander Connor, Rocky Mountain Police Department. Anthony Joseph Ficara, Rocky Mountain Police Department. Damian Andrew Lamb, Rocky Mountain Police Department. Montel Luter, Rocky Mountain Police Department. Shamira Lene Richardson, Rocky Mountain Police Department. If you would, please join me in giving these graduates another round of applause. And if you would, please rise for the benediction and the final dismissal of the cadets. Chaplain Howard Kendrick.
Well, the benediction, and I say always means an ending, but you know, every ending has a new beginning. And these guys and ladies who've gone through this, and it's been a while and they've got their jobs, but they're starting a new thing today, even today. I have a couple things I'd like to recommend to you. First of all, if anybody has ever had me speak, they know one of the biggest bandstand things I do is I have a problem with this word race. We're not different races. We're different colors. We're different sizes. I'm a little chunky, bald-headed guy, but I'm kin to you. I chased my ancestry, and it went all the way back to Adam and Eve, and I find out we all come from there. Race is a word that categorizes people. We're all one race. We're the human race. And if you folks will remember that, you graduates, that we're all kin to each other and treat each other like that wherever you go. Don't look at the color or the size or the shape. Look at the inner person and what God has made. Second thing, you're where you are and what you're doing because you have been called to that. It's a calling of God. Tim said that. It's a calling. You can stay in that job as long as you depend on Him to lead you and let Him do the work in your lives. And love each other. I love law enforcement folks. They're my favorites because God has called them to protect us, to run to the problem when we run away from it. And the last thing I notice in a lot of things, and I hate to bring this up, but the use of profanity. Expand your communication skills. Don't go around cussing all the time. Here's the thing I say, and some people say, I can't help it. You can help it in front of somebody, a grandmother, a grandfather. I never cussed in front of my mother, but one time, never again. The only thing I say about that is this, and it's not because I'm a preacher, because I've heard it all, and I can stand it all, and I love y'all. But if you don't use profanity in front of somebody, you'll never affect them adversely. But there is somebody, and these little kids we're talking about, that y'all have such a thing on. You can affect somebody adversely if you use it. So if you don't use it, you're not going to affect anybody. Okay? Anyway, that's my preaching for today, my 5 minutes. So let's go to the Lord, and here's what we do. We're a community. Folks, you got all these people behind you, law enforcement behind you. Y'all agree to that. If you're not afraid to hold hands, grab hands with somebody as we stand together as community, unified as one. All right? guys come on up here. Sure. Yeah. Let's go. Father, we just come to you. We're one. We stand behind these new law enforcement officers, and we stand behind the old ones. We're family. They join together. Law enforcement is an organization of folks who protect us and come to use their skills so that we can be safe. And we thank you for that. Help us all to remember we're one community, we're one unity. We've been brought together by you, Lord, so that we can serve, so that we can help each other, so we can stand behind. Use this in us to touch other lives. We give you praise and thanksgiving for that. Thank you for the honor of being here today. In the name of Jesus. Amen.
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 If you would, please join us at the back for honoring these fine group of law enforcement officers. We have refreshments back there. Help yourself. There's a lot of cake out there because we didn't know how many to plan for. So please take some with you because I'm not eating it all. Thank you for coming.
Wonderful to meet you.